There you are. Michael, where have you been? Where have you been? We hadn't seen you in days. You have not stayed consistent with your YouTube. You were right, I have not. The Rayden Chronicles I've not been doing every day. Mainly because I'm just honest and I want to get up here and talk about stuff I'm feeling, and lately I've just not been feeling anything. I've been working, I've been feeling in my head and thinking about some stuff like, you know, how to get better at work, how to get better at acquiring customers. I did have a good day the other day. I signed up a client for one of my monthly packages, and he actually upped it himself. So he's actually gone ahead and paid for the month, so that's great. And I'm still trying to get a hold of my spending habits, little things that you don't think cost a lot of money, but then all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, did I spend that much on Starbucks? And yes, I'm holding Starbucks cups. That's part of the problem. So I got to get that under control. I know I keep saying I'm going to, and then I don't. You see me up here with a Starbucks cup. But I'm basically just planning in my head, I guess, subconsciously on making more money so I can keep this habit up. I don't know. But right now, I'm heading to Wilson to a job. A friend of mine has the tire business. Good fella, B&S Wholesale, Jonathan Bridge and his family. Great family, great people. So we talked about doing a video before, and now he needs a video for something. I'm not sure yet. That's what I'm going down there for, to kind of have a discovery meeting. I've got my gear with me, just in case, you know, he would like to shoot something. But we'll see. I don't know. I have been making some marketing commercials myself, like doing some marketing stuff myself for my business. Coming up with ideas. Sometimes that can get a little dry. Sometimes that's kind of hard to, you know, keep coming up with consistent ideas. Wow. You ever take that sip of coffee and you realize a few seconds into it that you've made a horrible mistake, and this coffee is way hotter than you thought, but it's in your mouth now, and you don't want to spit it back into the cup. That would be nasty. That's what just happened, and it was mega hot. So, still waiting to hear from Philip on the chili water thing. Seeing what he's doing, what he's planning on doing, what his shoots are. I know he talked about recording some of the Zoom meetings for me. If you missed that episode, a guy that I follow kind of, he's like my mentor. I mean, whether he's ever been labeled that or if he's volunteered for that, but just a guy I go to. I'll call him. He's super nice, very good, super talented guy on, you know, a video and a content specialist, a videographer and content specialist. And just, I don't know. He's got a very serious attitude where some people will take him kind of like a dickhead, but I don't see him. I had a friend named Ashley like that, the one that passed away, and he was like that. Everybody thought he was a dickhead, but like once you talked to him, you just saw he was just honest. Like if you didn't want honest truth, if you want somebody to bullshit you or, you know, Apple sugarcoat you down before they tell you some shit, then they want the guys to do it. So I take Philip like that. So, but anyway, Philip got called by one of my clients. I had a client that I was working with, and we really hadn't had a, you know, breakup or anything. We weren't on a break or anything like that. He just kind of ghosted me and stopped calling me, and I hit him up and asked him, like, hey man, you want to continue making content? Ends up, he calls Philip. Philip immediately calls me, says, hey man, transparent, you know, 100% transparency. Your client just called me. They want to work with me. I'm going to work with them. But I told him I'm not poaching clients and trying to steal work from you, and I'd like to bring you in on the project. In other words, just a class A guy. Just very, very transparent, very honest, and very upfront. And I appreciate the hell out of that. So I took that as like, hey, all right, lost the job, can't do anything about that. The guy wants to use Philip. Okay, what can I get out of this? Well, I can learn from Philip. I can learn what he does, how he does it, how he takes somebody like Stuart who wouldn't talk, who I went in and had to have a discovery meeting with, and he's just, I mean, very, very dry. Like I said, it's nothing personal against the guy. Some people may say, Michael, you talk too much. You rattle off like you're on some kind of, you know, stimulant or something. But I'm not. I mean, coffee. But So I'm not judging the guy. I'm just saying he was very hard for me to talk to. Maybe he was thinking, like, this guy won't shut up. I can't say anything. I don't know. It could be me. It could be him. To me, I feel like I kind of, communicate very well with people. And then every now and then I'll hit a rut where it's just kind of like really, really dry. And Stuart was just really dry. He didn't have a lot of ideas. He would do weird things. One of the weirdest things he did was like I got to a video point. I'm going to get back to the point in a minute. But, I got to a point editing his first video, and he just really didn't tell me what he wanted. He just like, yeah, I just want a video about the ice. So I had to come up with a story and an idea and how to shoot it. So I did all that, and I showed it to him. Well, I got to a point where I had to ask questions like, where do you want to go here? How do you want to go here? What kind of music, Well, he didn't answer me. So he hits me back the next morning like, hey, how's the video coming? And I'm like, well, I can't move forward because you haven't answered my questions yet. And he's like, oh yeah, I saw that email. What did it say? So he saw the email on his phone, but he didn't even read it. He just saw it, and it was too much to read, and he waits a whole day, and then he asked me to read the email that I sent him. That's odd. That was an odd happening for me. So, anyway, he calls Philip. Philip takes a job. I don't know if Philip's going to use me on, a drone shot. I don't know what Philip's plans are, but I'm probably going to hit Philip up today, call him or text him to ask, like, hey, man, listen, you don't have to bill me in on anything, but when you go do something, like, I want to go learn with you if you want, if you'll let me. I would like to go learn with you. So, we'll see what he says. He may not want me around, he may want to do it by himself, but if he wants a hand, I'll go help him for free. He can tell Stuart whatever. But I'll go help Philip for free just to learn. That's I learned so much those couple of days I worked with him on those shoots. You just got to kind of sit back. Philip's another guy, talks very well to people, but he's a bit dry. Like he don't joke around a lot. He does have a sense of humor, but he's not like he's not super comical and jokish all the time. He's very down to business, which is fine with me. I'm just saying, to do that, you have to adapt to the situation. So you just have to kind of sit back and watch and ask questions and hear them. If you don't answer, just wait, ask it again. But I'll go work with Philip and see what he does, because man, Philip's got airports, big businesses, jewelers he's working with, colleges, things like that. Man, that stuff that's where the money's at. That's where I need to be at. As a matter of fact, I've even said I'm not trying to build a legacy with this Rayden Video Productions. I'm doing it because there's no other way to do it. I can't get, it's tough to go get hired on without doing like an internship and all that at these other places where you may have to know some software. And like I just kind of fell into the video game, and I got Final Cut Pro, and I just been carrying on like that. So my point being is that I don't have I'm not married to the whole, I gotta have a company. So I would go work for Philip for him, like if he wants to grow his business and make Ben's production something, then I don't know, he could hire me to work underneath him. I would be fine with that. I would be fine with that, because I would feel like that would be a job, and it'd be like a paid internship under this, grand master. Because he knows how to grow business, he knows how to do, he knows how to do content, all that stuff. I know some stuff. I don't know. Like, I'm not around people who know everything statistically and all the analytics of the social media, so I don't know what I know compared to those people. But I think he knows some stuff. But yeah, I'd be totally down for going to work for Philip doing videography stuff, video production. And I would just drop Rayden Video Productions. I'd be like, yo, Ben's Productions bought out Rayden Video Productions. Because I tell you what, running a business is tough. People ask, like, oh, why don't you do this and start your own business and do that, start your own business. A lot of of things you got to know, especially if you came up like me, blue collar, you know, working welding, you know, blue collar jobs, construction, stuff like that. And then you go into a job where you have to know all this stuff about taxes and businesses and licenses and certificates. All right, let's build that coffee now. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to know, and there's a lot of stuff to, you know, like remember every month. It seems normal, like it seems like, oh, that, you know, that would be easy to remember. But then every month, you know, Amber's like, hey, you remember you got to pay this tax, and remember you got. I'm like, oh, I forgot all about that, because man, habits be staying strong. So habits, you know, not paying taxes when you used to have to take out your check for 20-some years, working 8 to 5 for the man, and then all of a sudden it's like, yo, you got to pay those taxes. You got to remember to pay them. It's quite a welcome change. Paper in the cup. The other day, I am really against littering. People litter my front yard up all the time on Wayne Memorial. But the other day I was making a video and I was eating one of these lifesavers, individual wrap, and I was talking on the video and have no idea why. Just rolled the window down and put the piece of paper out, and I did it right on video. So one of my friends hit me up on a text and he's like, dude, I'm watching your video, man. You can't be littering on video. Like, you can't be doing that. And I'm just like, man, caught me. And the reason I say he caught me is because when I did it, I was thinking like as soon as it went out and I was rolling back up, I was like, what did I just do? Did I just throw the piece of paper out? Because most of the time I have a cup here. If I don't, I put the paper in a cup holder or something. I don't throw it out. I throw, like, you know, if I was eating a banana, I throw the banana peel out the window, because that's gonna, you know, it's gonna disintegrate after a while. But plastic or something like that. People throw like a whole McDonald's bag with drink trays and 4 or 5 Happy Meal boxes. They throw all that in my front yard, so I hate all that. So sorry about that. I feel like I need to get out and clean up some litter on the side of the road, just to make up for that. But, you know, I told him, I was like, man, that's what the channel's about. Trying to be better, trying to be good. So you got me, call me out, that's good. I like being called out and stuff like that. So I was like, I'm gonna do better. So thanks, Charlie. You know, we're just humans though. We forget about stuff. We try to be good every day. We try to compare ourselves to perfect. That's where all the conflict comes in. I was trying to explain to my son the other day, like, our expectation of the world, you know, how it should work out. And most of the time it's like how it should work out for me. This is how I think it's going to work out. This is what I think it is. And then where, you know, the world actually allows you to get, or how hard you push. Between those two, that's the conflict, the difference in life, you know, the pain. So he'll get all that, I guess, you know. He gets older. He's smart. He's in the Bible now. So I think maybe his girlfriend's kind of religious or something in the Bible. But yeah, as you know, I'm not a big Bible person, so I think Caden to get through that and then kind of see it for what it's for. I think you'll probably pick up some Alan Watts and start listening to that when he gets older. I love some Alan Watts, so any chance that he'll be listening to Alan Watts is a good thing. So Alan Watts or Jiddu Krishnamurti, both those guys can take your mind apart. Well, I just want to come up here, spout out for like 15 minutes while I ride. Man, a rock just in my window. The car better chill. I can't have a rock split my window again. Damn, these rocks and these expensive windshields. All right, everybody, peace out. Be good to one another. Be the best version of yourself you can beat. I love you. Peace out.